Hello and welcome to another FOE, like rundown review. What do you want to call this? I don't even know what this is anymore. What is this?
Oh, Whinge Fest.
Cringe fest? I mean, yeah, if you want
I
to.
said I said a whinge.
Oh, I thought you meant cringe because we're about to talk about Velvet Remedy.
Not really. What does she do this chapter? You get a note from her.
Get a note. She's the one that starts.
Oh,
She's the one that like technically starts the story. She makes the main character jump into action. So chapter two,
wow.
right? Chapter two. You know, we're we're really hitting the ground running here with chapter two. Okay. Well, what you want to go first, Afterglow? I mean, oh, I forgot to say, I'm joined by my co-host Afterglow, and it seems like our special guest Wolfie's fucking dead. So it's just gonna be me and him for
He,
right now.
he died of taint.
Truly,
Which I'm not even sure if that's in vanilla for Equestria.
it is. It's in the Canada
Oh,
lot. Remember?
I thought that was something else.
Oh, that was the pink cloud or whatever. I thought they called it taint though.
The Dead Money Club.
I mean, they, like I said before, and I'll keep repeating it. I don't like the fact that Vanilla decided to mix Fallout 3, New Vegas, and like the main baddies of the first and second game. It's too much. It's too much. You
Well,
know?
you have to remember the New Vegas DLCs were coming out around the time this was being written, so the author probably played it and be like, "Oh, I could just slap this into my story."
Yeah, but I mean that's like every story, especially like nowadays. It's like, oh, what's popular? This and this. Okay, cool. Let's put that into the story. So, chapter 2 is just called the Equestrian Wasteland because, Lord and behold, she takes her first steps on the Equestrian Wasteland into a familiar place, a familiar sight. That being right outside of Whoville, runs into Monterey Jack. And I think you want to take the mic from this because you prepared some notes, correct?
I mean, I can't call him what I called him in my notes, but yes, I hate this character. He's boring. He adds nothing, and he won't be important for like 20 more chapters.
So what is it called? Chukhov's gun, right? When like you add a detail and then they either forget about it or like, oh wait, we gotta incorporate this one more time because we made a mention of this character. So uh, should I even like say no more spoilers? I mean, how old is this story again? Like 6, 8 years now? Like if you
What are
haven't,
you talking about, bro? This story came out in 2011. It's been like 13 years.
oh my lord, it's been 25 years. Is that what you're saying?
Wake up.
It's not 2013 anymore, bro. Gas isn't $2 anymore, man. So okay, all right then. So go ahead, take the conch. I'm throwing it at you. You can tell me about this because I talked way too much on the first episode. Go ahead.
I mean, he kind of just like captured somehow, I guess, just because by these amazing slavers. And they are completely forgettable and add nothing because they just die because funny. They have names for some reason. And then Raiders just kill them. So easy. I don't know why Raiders kill them. They're not really gonna loot them or anything. They're just random Raiders that come in and shoot people. I guess they're the fiends of this story.
Hmm. Keep going.
And then Pip fights them. And then she's like, "Oh no, I don't want to kill this pony." Then the pony raises a weapon. I want to kill this pony. So I'm glad she immediately got over her not wanting to kill people, ponies, whatever, creatures.
All right, all right. Anything else?
You got anything to add to this?
I
Oh,
also have taken note how why is it that both in the game as well as in the story, immediately they go and fight like, you know, other intelligent well, quote unquote intelligent because they're raiders. You know, raiders questionable antics over there. But like, why not build your way up? Like, add to the sense of loneliness and dread, right? You know, I think I'm probably talking a little too quick here, but if I were a writer, I would want at least a chapter, maybe even a chapter and a half, where the character is basically alone, right? Because right away she leaves, runs into Monterey Jack and the slavers. As you said, they're given names for whatever fucking reason. Like literally 2 paragraphs later, they get their heads blown off because for whatever reason they're negotiating with raiders, which me and you know they're normally like coked out or whatever other drugs. So you know you can't really like reason with those types of individuals. So it's like I don't understand that. But going back to what I was saying, I really wish writers would explore that, the loneliness of the wasteland, because it really is lonely in the end of the day. And maybe they should like, build up on the fact that, hey, if you don't travel at least with one other, companion or a group of companions here, you're gonna die because this isn't like a world in which you can do this all alone. If no one's watching your back, you're gonna get shot, stabbed, or you're gonna fall into a ditch or something, and no one's gonna be able to get you out. So it's just things that I wish that they would have done differently that no one else really does. Like even Project Horizons doesn't like Blackjack like right away travel with the companion like right out of the stable, right out of the vault.
I mean, P21, that absolute fucking dog shit of a character that I hate even more than Velvet Remedy.
Yes, and we'll talk about, we're gonna probably sprinkle it in every once in a while, like Project Horizons, and then eventually, we'll get to it. But like, yeah, I didn't like that how right off the bat she is already traveling with a companion when all the games are known for you have to find a companion, you know? So I don't know. Maybe I'm just going off a little bit of a tangent, but I really wish like people would just capture the loneliness of the wasteland and like the dangers of basically being a loner. Unless you're like a complete badass, which even the complete badasses often get, backstabbed because no one was watching their back. So, is that good enough for you?
I mean, they had to have her fight someone with weapons so she could get weapons. Because what's she gonna do? She runs into like uh a rat or a step on it and be like, ew. It'd be kind of boring.
I mean, they could do what the games have always done. Like the first game, of course, who's going to play the first game in the current year. But if you pick a certain skill set, right, or create a certain character that's known for some skills, maybe they're going to be traveling with that stuff, and that's why I firmly believe that just like you, that little Pip probably should have just been like a secondary character, like a support character, if you will, because what do they have? Well, they have repair kits. They're able to hack into stuff. It's just not very interesting, you know. If you want some action-packed adventure, then you're probably going to start off with an action-packed character. So that's just a little bit of the criticisms that I'm basically like bleeding over what I said earlier. I mean, she could.
what do you what do you think Little Bit Special would look like?
Man, that is actually a good question. Um, that is a really good
Appa-
question.
Apparently, she's good at hacking. She need high intelligence, which I would not believe.
I mean, you can be intelligent, but you can still be naive, which she has shown that in the story. Because you
She's
could be smart,
small.
you can be smart, but like just because you're smart doesn't mean you know enough, and people can take advantage of you or not. Which right off the bat, someone takes advantage of her by like tricking her into a situation and she gets captured. So
So I would say. low strength, high perception, and the rest basically only high intelligence, and I guess high agility because she sneaks, and
So
everything else is garbage.
I would, yeah, I mean, just off the top of my head, because I don't have like the whole like catalog thing, but I probably would agree with that because it's strength. Strength probably be like just below average, perception just above average, endurance I think would just be average. Charisma, she's a little autistic, so I'm not sure. I mean, she has high luck though, right? Doesn't she have high luck? That's why she's able to get out
And
of like situations that would like kill others normally.
she has luck 10.
So like basically a MacGuffin right there. Like she could just get out of every situation because she has 10 out of 10 luck.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So we kind of skipped over, okay, agility and intelligence. I think her agility is probably like her strongest suit because she does sneak a lot. It does help her a lot. So if anything stands out, it's probably going to just be her intelligence, agility, and luck. Everything else is either below average or on average par. And if we're going with the classic, with the perks, I would say that definitely has small frame. Uh, Only because of the sneak feature, but also the fact that like anytime she gets in a fight or something, it seems like she always breaks something or like really injures something. Am I the only one that notices
Hey,
that, or did you also notice that?
did you just call a trait a perk, my guy?
I'm doing Fallout
You're gonna
1
be
stuff, so it's perks.
yeah. They're still called traits in Fallout 1 when you first build your character. Small frame is a trait, not a perk.
4 of the skill traits. I'm looking this up now because I don't want to get it wrong. Perks are
No, you're getting
acquired every
crucified.
3 levels, 4 with the skill trait. Okay, I think you're right. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I don't think she has a
Man, I'm
call
gonna
of.
have to edit this and have
She definitely does
edit out
have.
all you people.
She definitely does have like cult of personality. People will always view the player character favorably, regardless of the player's reputation or the non-player's alignment. Yeah, she definitely has that. Empathy, reaction levels are shown when in an in-depth conversation. So basically,
I mean,
these two things, it's virtually impossible for characters to react negatively to this player's character. So, I mean, she never really gets like BTFO'd for doing something wrong, even though she's done plenty of things wrong.
also, if we can keep track of what perks he has because they tell us at the end of every chapter.
Huh? I thought that was
Look,
part. I thought
fuck,
that was
little Pip fell for the fucking Swift learner trap of perk picking. That's how dumb she is.
Swift learner.
Yes, that's her first perk.
Oh
She gets Swift learner.
man,
The
definitely,
scam perk.
it's a scam. Is that what they say?
Yeah, you're gonna level up either way. What does it matter if it happens a little faster?
You right. You right. Yeah, it definitely has light frame. It isn't. Yeah, there you go. Light frame. Where like you're lighter, you can move faster, you could sneak faster, and like not be as detected as much, but your limbs are weak.
And we know this because it's like one of the few, like, two physical descriptions you get of Little Pip is that she's small.
Mm-hmm. So I mean that's pretty much it. Small frame. Yep.
All right,
That's
here's
the,
the real question for you.
what's up.
How does Sats function? The stable check arcane targeting spell.
Oh my God. It seems like it works when the writer just wants to hit these random ass shots or can't really write an action scene, so they're like, "Oh, I went into stats immediately," or sorry, VATS stats, whatever the hell you call it. Um, It's like, oh, I'm gonna go right into that. Oh no, I'm out of it. It's like, bro, just write better.
I
Because
mean, the actual application of if you try to use it in the world, because it says it's a spell, but your fucking pit buck activates it. So can you only unicorns do it? Could a unicorn do it without a pit buck? We'll never know.
we'll never actually. I think you need the device because she does make a reference to it when there are like enemies around and stuff like that.
Also, according to the Fall Equestria wiki, which you know, it's a
Mm-hmm.
wiki, take it with a
Grain of
tiniest
salt.
grain of salt. Yeah, but apparently the way it works is it does not slow down time. It speeds up time just for the person using it.
So isn't that
You
kind of
can
like a
speed
isn't
faster.
isn't that kind of like a paradox though? Like everything's so fast around you that it's slow though.
Yes, apparently, like that one scene from Over the Hedge.
Oh
That's sad.
man, that's. I wish there was more art describing that than like the lame shipping.
The stats people don't understand stats so little as that the wiki entry is one paragraph, and this wiki has like paragraphs and paragraphs on every other page.
So what you're telling me is that one of the more like key features of every Fallout game didn't even get explained.
Not really. She just says I use the sats spell. Whenever she uses it, she says I activated sats and I targeted their leg or whatever,
Hmm.
and that's it. That's all the explanation we get.
You're not wrong. And it's always either oh, I hit the shot or I missed the shot. Like I would feel like the game as well as just the writing itself would probably benefit if there was like more of a risk to it. Like the more you use it, the more like endurance you lose. You get exhausted like faster because, you know, it does give you that edge in combat, but it's also like it's a high risk, high reward thing, right? You can get the headshot, but if you miss it, not only did you miss your shot and now they know where you're at, but you're even a little bit more exhausted because of the amount of energy output you put in to that thing. If that does that make sense?
Sure,
Okay, why do you say
it's a better explanation
sure?
because it's a better explanation than the story will ever give us.
Yeah, I feel kind of bad because it's just like I like this story. I don't love it, but I like it because, like I said before in the previous episode, like it did a lot, you know. But at the same time, as I'm reading over it once again, or rather listening to it while I'm, you know, at the gym running or whatever, I'm just physically cringing at some of the scenes of this freaking story. But going
I sure
back,
hope you're listening.
sorry, go ahead.
I hope you're listening to the official audiobook, quote unquote, because the Velvet Remedy voice she does is annoying as shit, and that's perfect for her character. Sure, you got it.
I just don't like them as a character. I really
You're
don't.
gonna
I
get
don't really like them as a character.
We hate Velvet this much, and she hasn't even had a scene, like more than one scene in the story yet.
Well, yeah, I mean, I am all for characters being naive into this brave new world as soon as they enter it. But once you keep getting burned and seeing horrible things happening or horrible things happening to you, you kind of have to wake up and be like, huh, so this place that was described as, sunshines and rainbows and, land of milk and honey isn't the way it is, like, huh? And it's yet like they still try and perceive the world as that every single time.
I don't see how that even works in universe because, like, every single person in every single stable believes, oh, if you stay outside, you're gonna drop dead like instantly
Well,
from all the radiation, all the deadly things.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's kind of like you in the real world. It's like, hey, don't step outside. It's really hot outside. Like you're gonna get sunburn. Or hey, it's really cold. Put a freaking jacket on, or else you're gonna get sick. It's like, no, it's not. Like it's nice and this and that. And like as soon as like 10 minutes out there, you're like, oh my god, I want to die. And then the greatest thing ever, right? I don't. Are we bleeding in too much into chapter three when I'm talking about like who she ends up with, like the group she ends up with, and she's still trying to like plead the case that the world isn't all bad.
Yeah, you might want to save that rant for when we actually get
Okay,
to him.
okay. We'll keep talking about like little Pip's adventure into like into Ponyville, but right before that, like she also meets what do you call him again? Oh yeah, Watcher.
Oh, she doesn't meet him yet.
I thought she no like meets him through the Sprite
Yeah,
bot.
He shows up, and it's implied that he's watching her, but they don't speak yet.
Yeah. So the little fight there meets them, and then he right away takes like, hey, you need to go touch some grass. You need to go like you know meet friends and this and that because you're gonna die if you don't have any friends. What else was it? I'm trying to think. Oh, the fight in the library. So how'd you feel about the
Yo,
library
eh,
scene?
that is all chapter 3, you schizo.
Wait, really? Am I
Yes, at the end
mixing
of this
this up?
chapter,
Holy crap.
that's how that's how much the story bleeds together. But this chapter ends with her going into where Velvet is.
Huh. You might have to refresh me then, because I'm completely misremembering. I thought that
Well,
was
what
chapter
happens? Well,
2. Oh no, chapter 2, she falls asleep, and then the next day, she wakes up to see like how horrible things are, and then she realizes that she was asleep under a bunch of dead cats.
so let's go back to Monterey Jack.
Yes, I'm sorry if I was rant. See, I promised myself not to talk too much, but then here I am taking 75% of the air. Go ahead. I'm gonna shut up.
So what happens? She kills the Raiders, who like knock some of them out because she just want to kill them. And then Monterey just walks up and blasts him, and he's like, "Oh, by the way, I'm gonna take your shit." So she's like, "Why though?" It's like, "What do you mean? I'm trying not to die." And that's basically their interaction. She holds him up and counts bullets somehow. First time she ever sees firearms being shot, she has the awareness to count bullets somehow. So she knows he's only has one bullet, which with is a shotgun, by the way. But for some reason, he still backs down despite having a sawn off shotgun pointed at her face. I think he would win that fight, but so what are we supposed to get out of this chapter? Let's pretend like we don't know all the bullshit that happens with them later. Let's say we're reading this fresh off the presses in the year of our Lord 2011.
Fresh
What is the point of
of
this chapter?
2013. Um, I would expect this character to either never show up again because this is a possible random encounter, right? Because this is just me thinking in my dumb, smooth, small brain, peanut brain, Fallout brain, whatever you want to call it. Uh, Either random encounter or I'll be like, huh, this person's definitely gonna person. Shit, K Cat's rubbing off on me.
Mhm.
This character is gonna come back later, and they're gonna have some type of significance because obviously, like, this is their first person they talk to out in the real world. Obviously, they spared each other, so maybe it's like you could say the loss of innocence, right? Because this character, she helped him. They could have had a really grisly fate being captured by either the slavers or the raiders, but then they survive it. So it's just like, oh, we're cool now, right? And then he's like, nah, we're not. Like, issues now. So even then, basically the lesson I get from that is like, even if you help a person that you think is good, because there are worse things out there, doesn't necessarily mean they're gonna be your friend right away, or they're gonna like want what's best for you. Because obviously, they're getting the gear, getting all this stuff, and then like as she's like getting the stuff and looking up, all she sees is like a gun pointing at her face, and he's like you said, what are you doing? Like robbing you, and it's like ah. shit. So it's very funny, very a lot of parallels of the real world here. Nah,
Yeah, I don't see the point for this entire exchange. Like, it added nothing besides her fighting a little bit.
really? Okay, that's interesting. I just presumed it as like I said, random encounter or this character is gonna come back later. That's the only two way. I don't see it as it's wasted. I just see it as this,
Well,
that, or the other.
she's also in Ponyville in chapter 2. Like, you couldn't wait to blow your load to go to the main location of the show that you're writing the fanfic of in the post apocalypse. And you do, like, nothing with it.
True. I mean, it is the first night, right? Like she just goes there to like sleep first.
Also, I'd like to bring out the precedent that this chapter sets up. At the start of the chapter, she finds a terminal. It's like, oh, this one needs a companion terminal for me to do it. And the chances of me finding the companion terminal and it actually working would be slim to none. At the end of the chapter, she finds the companion terminal. And that
Yeah.
sets up how Little Pip finds everything. Every bit of lore she conveniently stumbles upon. It starts at the very beginning. So at least it's consistently bad.
I mean, you do have a point there because that's just one of those mechanics I never liked about the game either, where it's like mysteriously the whole story of whatever character side story you're listening to, right, from either before the Great War or even like some character you're learning about. Why is it so like everything's just found so easily? It's just so convenient. Like I never liked that. It'd be even better if the stories that you find or this or that were either lost, right? Lost to time, which things naturally do get lost to time, or, you know, you just don't know about these things and you kind of have to think, make the listener or reader think about some stuff. Because it's very fun and also very like it plays into your hand if you're able to create a discussion with your writing because that happens with very good stories where people are still making theories of like why did this character do this, why did this character do that, did they really leave that message, did they really mean to say that, did they mean, this and that kind of stuff. I think it's really good. But that's one thing I will complain about, even in the game, not just the story, where everything's just so convenient that you find everything, and it's just like, oh, okay. There's no imagination being used for the reader or listener. So that's my 2 cents on that too.
Also, that terminal has a message from Apple Bloom, and that sets up their role in the story. And the CMC's role is really fucking stupid in this story. But we got a while till we get to that.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest here. They kind of shoehorned most, if not all, the characters instead of making again having the reader or listener imagine like, oh, was it this character or was it that character? It's like, no, I'm just gonna make up this weird random, assumption of this or that. So just I agree with you. I don't like how a lot of the characters are used uh, in this story.
And also, the spoilers for this decade-old story again, but she finds like the body or what happened to every single main six besides one, just by sheer coincidence.
Yeah, like I said, I don't like that. I don't like when that happens every single time. Oh, here's the information you needed. Oh, here's this piece or this or that. So yeah.
So yeah, it's about everything that happens in this chapter, and the fact that we only took like 5 minutes talking about the actual adventures, how boring this chapter was.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not sure if that's gonna like work for us or it's just gonna, you know, make people be like, you guys didn't actually talk about chapter two. There's really nothing to talk about. Even, even though this video is 30 fucking minutes. Oh my god. But yeah, there's yeah, we basically talked about what could have been and what they should have done. That I think we could both agree on that, right?
They shouldn't have wrote it.
They should. I can say the same thing for like many parts of Project Horizons because I know you simp for that story super hard.
Classic. I never said it was a perfect story. All right.
Hmm. Okay. Well, I mean, it's either that, it's either that or some of the side stories that unfortunately don't escape vanilla or even Project Horizons lore because they have to piggyback off something. They have to. You don't understand. They can't. No one could just make their own classic story, classic lore. You must follow KCAT's established lore, or else you're a heretic. Did I get that right too?
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that.
Sure.
I've only read Project Horizons. I'm not reading Pink Eyes or Mamba Number Nine or whatever the hell the other ones are called.
Mambo number 9. Yeah, we'll call it that for now. We're just gonna make the board even more pissed off at us.
I don't know the name, but I'm sure that's close.
Yeah. No, don't worry about it. I mean, I already have my rant set up for chapter 3 because like I said before and I will continue to say, I absolutely hate Velvet Remedy's character.
If there was any character in any fiction that I would have loved to see described in visceral detail, it'd be Velvet
Jesus
Remedy.
Christ.
So, what?
Holy crap.
Hey, we'll teach her not to be so naive in her final moments. That's a character arc right there.
Exactly. Well, I think that's it. I mean, unless you have something else to say,
Uh,
I just wish things would be seen for what they are and people would write a better story. Not to diss completely, because this would have never been a thing had the vanilla story not come out. But hindsight, it's 2023. It's time for better writers to write a better story.
it's time for Somber to stop writing Project Horizons already, bro. It's been like a decade. Write something else.
They're still doing it, huh?
Yeah, they're still doing the sequel series.
But like, didn't we go over that already? The fact that it's been months since the last update.
He's
Here,
still writing it, but he won't leave. He always disappears for like 9 months and then posts a new chapter.
let me. Okay, for the record, before we get out of here, let's see real quick. Well, they were offline. They were last seen an hour ago. This is at the time of Wednesday, September 20th, 2:17 a.m. That's a weird. I don't know where that the hell they. Okay, whatever. Anyways, um, where? Let's see. It's
I
it's it's Homelands,
wholeheartedly,
right? It's Homelands, right? That's the
if
second
it's
part
a,
of it.
yeah, if it's written by Somber, it's not the original.
Okay, so it's still incomplete, right? Last any update was made was April 2022 on the 12th. Yeah, April 12th, 2022.
Trust me, he'll come back. I wholeheartedly believe the only way that story won't be complete is if he dies before he gets a chance.
I mean, it's been a whole like year and a half, and it looks like the last time they consistently. Okay, as somebody who has issues with procrastination and whatnot, yeah, you can say it. I don't. I deserve it. Um, let's see. The last time they were consistently writing was 2017 because from there, chapter 18 was released on the 29th of April 2018, and then chapter 19 was the 3rd of July 2018, and then they do their hiatus thing. 23rd of January 2019, and then 25th of August 2019, 8th of March 2020, and then so on and so forth. And then there's a massive uh, jump from the 13th of November 2020 1 to the 12th of April 2022.
Alright, but to be fair, if you were writing the same story for like a decade, wouldn't you want to take a break every once in a while?
I mean, I'd rather just get it done, you know? If I haven't isn't this individual like a English professor or something?
I've
Or,
never
or
found out if that was true or not.
yeah, I was gonna say if that's the truth or something.
And people also believe Kit Kat was a girl for years, so who knows what could be true about authors.
Yeah. So it's just like I as somebody, if that's their only other thing that they're doing, it's like yeah, just do it, finish it. You know, might as well. But that's just me. I
Yeah,
mean, I'm just some rando that also has procrastination issues, but has nothing really to like speak for said procrastination issues. At least this artist over here is able to make their mark on the fandom and have some type of clout and popularity. Well, I'm just some random dude talking about stuff. That's
yeah,
the way
we
I
don't
see it.
make art; we judge other people's art.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, I mean, I
I like
think
to see how fast you could write 2 million words.
I'm trying, mate. I am trying. I have a spiral notebook that's getting there. It's getting there.
Yeah, he's gonna write a Father Crescia fanfic longer than Project Horizons. You heard it here first,
I wouldn't
folks.
do that. I still firmly believe. Okay, this is for real. This is the last thing I'm gonna say. Then we'll get the hell out of here. I firmly believe that just because your story is super super long and is known to be one of the most longest, you know, fanfic literature, not just in the fandom but just overall, doesn't automatically make it good. There could be short
Yeah,
stories. There could be very short stories with only like 1,000 to 2,000 words that probably blow out Project Horizons out of the water.
kill yourself.
But I mean, that's just my opinion. You know, there's probably poetry, 20, 30 words that can destroy like big giant fanfics because they have actual depth, not just oh I want to put my favorite characters to do this and that. Like yeah, that's it. Is that enough for you, or do I have to talk for another 30 minutes? All right, well that's enough. That's enough for us, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening. This has been your main host Enclave, and I was joined with my co-host Afterglow.
God, I love mayors.
Rest in peace, Wolfie. You will be missed.
We can rebuild them like Blackjack.
I don't think we need to destroy them like Blackjack. Oh God, no.
Okay, not like that, you fucking weirdo.
Oh no. All right, well, good night, everybody.
I hate Velvet.